When you ask people to remember Christmas, you are really opening up a box of memories that are very strong, because this is when your whole family comes together. And maybe you get along with your crazy Tio when he's not in the house, but when he's there for 3 days, it gets to be a little much. So all those things came about, and there are lots of funny stories about, you know, families interacting and some sad ones. And the other thing you see is that for children, Christmas can be a time of disillusionment. I mean, this is like for us little kids, you find out there's no Santa Claus at some point. I mean, this is the first crack in the childhood protection. This one is for PMS, that bloating that we get. Yeah. This is cola de caballo, which is also called horsetail in English, and sometimes it's called shaved grass. And this is a very mild diuretic. You can use it for 3 or 4 days without having any side effects. If you don't find this, although it's easy to find in herb stores, you can use something that you really might have in your kitchen, and that is just barba de maíz, which is corn silk. I just save the corn silk when I'm having my barbecues, and I put it in a couple of paper towels, put that in a little baggie, and let it dry out, and then I just pour my boiling water over it and strain it. And that's very mild, and all the Mexican-American ladies that I know in LA use it. They use it for honeymoon cystitis. If you're lucky enough to get that, they use it for PMS, and they even use it for geriatric incontinence.
Joey Davidow is the editor of LA Style magazine. She identifies the style and puts it in print.
Our idea of looking fabulous doesn't have to do with looking traditionally rich and luxurious. It has to do with being out there and creative and fun.
So these men seem to become a bit attached to the things.
They are the most sentimental people. You know, you accuse women of being sentimental, but men are sentimental. But I think what really motivates men is that they are really scared of looking stupid. They're so scared of looking stupid, and they have no idea how to dress, so they just hang on to what they feel comfortable in. But we've all been given certain tools growing up on how to get dressed. Women know a few things. And if we can give those tools to men, they won't have to be so insecure, and maybe we can get them to wear something. The other advice I always give people is to use a little child psychology. It doesn't help you to tell him he looks bad, but tell him he looks sexy. And he looks good when he wears something you do like, you know. Use a little of that kind of reward.
I know Miss Becky was very turned on by that sweater.
I was amazed. I came in this morning and there were these slobs on the couch, and I said, oh, are you the makeovers? I was scared. But they looked so different. They looked so attractive.
You're only going to buy one thing for your husband this season, or try to convince him. What do you think that thing should be?
Well, this season there are a lot of really terrific sweaters and all kinds of colors and patterns, and men love them. So that's what I would get. I would take a look at him, and I would see what kind of coloring he has. If he's got sandy hair and sort of medium colored skin, I wouldn't get anything with a lot of contrast. If he's got dark hair and really light skin, I might get a black and white or something with a lot of color in it. And I'd pick a really terrific sweater, because he can wear that every place and he'll look great, and he'll love it. It seemed to me that there were city magazines across the country who were almost a generic form. You could change the name on the cover and you'd get away with it. It could be any place. It could be Seattle, it could be Chicago, it could be Houston, Miami, or whatever. When I did LA Style, I wanted to make sure it didn't look like that. There was a magazine in LA that did that already. So I wanted to make a magazine that was very peculiar to Los Angeles, that in fact reflected, to my mind, the way LA actually looks and feels. And I think LA is a very special place.
LA Style magazine publishes the newest in fashion and food with a Southern California bent. And to celebrate this city and its fashion, of course, the magazine hosted its annual stylish party.
We're the magazine that celebrates Los Angeles, so we do it in the magazine, and we like to do it in the party too. So we celebrate all the great restaurants, we celebrate all the fashion designers, and as many aspects as we can. People are very much into self-expression here in everything they do, certainly in their clothes, in their cars, in their houses, and whatever you want to wear, nobody thinks you're crazy, they just think you're a very creative and interesting person.
Here she is. 5 years ago, she started a little magazine called LA Style. It's now kind of the magazine in Los Angeles and in Southern California. Here is Joey Davidow. Where are you, Joey?
Hey.
You know, by,
Changed since the last time I saw you.
Yeah, get out of my drag here.
I do want to make a comment. If time permits, there will be a biker slut contest between the two of them.
Thank you.
Cycle slut contest. How are you?
I'm real good.
Congratulations on the magazine.
Thanks.
5 years,
Thank
huh?
you, I mean it, yeah.
Wow.
No.
Well, what's been happening with this stuff?
Well, you
here?
know, for a long time, motorcycles had a bad rap, and the only reputable guys you knew who drove Harleys were the LAPD. But nowadays, all that's changed. Malcolm Forbes drove a Harley, Elizabeth Taylor was on the back of it, Mickey Rourke's a big Harley fan, and you see Mercedes-Benzes driving around with license plate holders that say, my other car's a Harley.
Right.
So it's gotten to be a very hip and happening event, and it's having a tremendous effect on fashion.
Currently, Joey is working on a profile of LA's trend-setting bartenders. Pamela Woosner tips Joey on the Cajun Martini.
How do people get hip enough to know to ask for the Cajun Martini?
God, word of mouth, and unfortunately for the unsuspecting souls that come in with their friends, they're automatically turned on to them. Hey, try this martini, and it's fire water. I mean, it's a hot martini with jalapeno.
Wow! That's some drink.